ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سلك بمنهجه إلى يوم الدين. إخوة في رحاب الإيمان، أحييكم بتحية الإسلام، تحية أهل الجنة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praises and adorations are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, the Lord of the universe, the compassionate, the most merciful God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of his mercy, is spared our life till today. Like our fathers in Nigeria, they always say, four set of people prepare themselves for Ramadan. The four people that prepare themselves, that are preparing themselves for Ramadan, there are four people in sets. There are four sets of people that always prepare themselves for Ramadan. The first of it is that the first set are the set that we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make them see Ramadan. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not grant them this opportunity. Like you and I, we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us to witness this Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, Allah has made it easy for us. But some people, unfortunately, Allah didn't make it easy for them. It is not that we are better than them, but out of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He spared our life till today. We give thanks for Him for that. Number two, the second set of people are the people that pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let them see Ramadan, to let them witness Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make them see Ramadan, the fast Ramadan, but they will not finish fasting. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not count you and I among this group. The third group are the people that they will fast. They pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let them see Ramadan, to let them witness Ramadan. They witness Ramadan, they fast in Ramadan, and after Ramadan, they die. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not count you and I among these people as well. And the last people are the set of people that they fast in this month of Ramadan, and they're going to see another Ramadan on the earth. They're going to witness many of it on the earth. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite mercy to count you and I among those set of people. But to be realistic with ourselves, the third group are the group that you and I are supposed to put in our mind that this month of Ramadan is the last month of Ramadan that we are going to fast on the earth. Even though we want to fast many of it, but we should have it in our mind, and we should prepare our mind as if it is the last Ramadan that we're going to fast on the earth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us witness many Ramadan on the earth. After we give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His blessing upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his household and his family, and those who remain on His clear path to the day of resurrection. First of all, give thanks to our scholars that have spoken before me, starting from our amiable Imam, Fadilatul Imam Bashir Agbola, Hafizahullah Ta'ala wa Ri'ahu, and our second speaker, Fadilatul Sheikh Dr. Anqareeb Al-Hussein Adiyatullah, Hafizahullah Ta'ala wa Ri'ahu, and the other scholars that they are going to speak on this platform. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to spare every one of them on goodness. Now, inshallah ta'ala, tafsir, our own tafsir of today, inshallah, is going to be based on the surah, one of the favorite surah to you and I, the favorite surah to the heart, the surah that most of the scholars have talked about it. This surah that we were talking about is a surah that has talk about a whole story of human being. One of the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This story that we want, this ayah that we want to talk about is the ayah that has the story, one of the excellent story, one of the unique story, one of the uncomparable story. The surah talk about this story in it. The surah, it is not strange to you and I. It is a surah that we all know, which is Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf, Quran chapter 12. This surah to Yusuf, talk about our noble prophet, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. May Allah continue to send his blessing upon him. Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam is a prophet like other prophets. He's a messenger like other messengers. He's a human being like other prophets and messengers. But his own life is slightly different from other prophets in kind of challenges, the faces that he witnessed in his life, starting from his family before people in the community. Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, ismuhu Yusuf bin Yaqub, wa huwa Israel bin Ishaq bin Ibrahim. Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, he wasn't just jump from the heaven. He was born through human being. His father's name is Yaqub, which is also a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, this is one of the mercy of Allah upon Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah made him a prophet and made his father a prophet as well, which Allah didn't do for some prophets and messengers, like Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. We have no traces, we have no evidence that say one of the Noah children are prophets or they are messengers. We didn't see any evidence towards that. But out of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he blessed Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, he made his father a prophet, even his forefather, which is Prophet Ishaq. And from Ishaq, Ishaq father also, which is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he also is a prophet of Allah and is a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one of the mercy of Allah upon Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. This Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam that we are talking about, his name was mentioned in 27 places in the Quran. 25 places in the Surah to Yusuf, which is the Surah that revealed about his life. No any other Surah that talk about the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam aside than this Surah to Yusuf. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned his name in another 2 places in Quran, which is Surah to Al-An'am, verse 84, and Surah to Ghafir, verse 34. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah honored him so much. Allah mentioned his name in many places in Quran, like we said, and this is one of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mention someone's name in many places in Quran. Among the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also recognized Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. He mentioned his name. One narrated by Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, said, they asked the messenger of Allah, which is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the most honorable mankind? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the most honorable mankind is the most pious of them. But the Sahaba said, no, we are not referring to that. We're referring to within the human being, within the prophets. He said the most honorable of them is Prophet Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, the son of Prophet of Allah, which is Ishaq and Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So which shows that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam also recognized him. In another hadith that Uqba that he narrated, The Imam An-Nasai reported the hadith, and Imam Al-Albani, rahimahullah ta'ala, also confirmed the authenticity of the hadith. The hadith said, اتبعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو راكب فوضعت يدي على قدمي فقلت أقريني يا رسول الله سورة هود وسورة يوسف فقال لن تقرأ شيئا أبلغ عند الله من قل أعوذ برب الفلق وقل أعوذ برب الناس. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one day, this Sahaba followed him while the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on camel, and he said, this man placed his hand on Prophet's leg, and I asked the Messenger of Allah, please read for me Surah to Hud and Surah to Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet told him that let me point you to one of the most rich surah, or the most favorite things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that can make you reach to your Lord, which is Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas. Ashahid huna, what we are referring to in these hadith is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the name of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam in this surah, in this hadith, and also a lot of narration from the Sahaba ridwanullah alayhim. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, his father is Yaqub. Yaqub is the one that they call Israel. So if you hear they say Bani Israel, they're referring to the children of Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, he is the prophet after his dad. He's a prophet and messenger of Allah after his dad, and we have no evidence that the Yusuf's family, they are prophets or they are messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While Anbiya ibada Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, a lot of prophets and messengers came after Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam from the same chain of transmission, which is Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam, Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, wa ghayrihim, and many of them came after Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Surah to Yusuf that we were talking about is the surah that is very, very important to Muslim, particularly a good parent. A good parent must refer to this surah to learn a lot of lessons from it, to derive a lot of lessons from this surah. This surah, it talks about many things. Indeed, it touches a lot of our daily need in our life. What we need in our life, this surah touch it a lot. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with this surah, بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. Maybe we should stop there so that we can translate it one after the other. As we all know, we are in the month of Ramadan, month of Quran. So we need to revise the Quran. We need to take a lesson from it, not to just narrate the whole story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam and done with it. No, we want to take it one after the other. We want to take a lesson from this surah. We want to explain it in details, word to words, ayah to ayah. We want to expatiate this surah to Yusuf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started this surah with 3 letters, Alif, Lam, Ra. What is the meaning of these 3 letters? Alif, Lam, Ra. A lot of scholars, they have worked hard to come with the meaning of these letters, Alif, Lam, Ra. But the most correct opinion is the opinion of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud wa Abdullah ibn Abbas that says, Allah ta'ala a'lam bi muradiha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that knows what he intends in these letters, Alif, Lam, Ra. And we have many of these Alif wa Lam, Ra in Quran, at least in 5 places in Quran. List Alif, Lam, Ra, these 3 letters, Allah stated it clearly in 5 places in Quran. Number 1, in Surah to Yunus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it there, and it comes in the beginning of the surah. Allah says, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, before we proceed, have your Quran with you, this month of Quran, to revise the Quran with each other. Allah said in this Quran, in this ayah, Alif Lam Ra, Tilka Ayatul Kitabil Hakim. Allah said, these are the verses of the wise book. Alif Lam Ra. These short letters is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knows the meaning. If anyone claims that he knows the meaning, tell him, does he have knowledge than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Ask him. If he doesn't have knowledge than him, definitely he doesn't know the meaning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Yunus, Alif Lam Ra, Tilka Ayatul Kitabil Hakim. Also in Surah Hud, Allah says, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu thumma fussilat min laduni hakimin khabir. Allah said, Alif Lam Ra is only Allah that knows the meaning of this ayah. Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu, a book whose verses are set clear. A book whose verses are set clear and then distinguished from one all wise, all aware, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also in Surah Ibrahim, Allah mentioned this also. Quran chapter 14, verse 1. Allah says, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun anzalnahu ilayka litukhrijan nasa min adh-dhulmat لتخرج الناس من الظلمات إلى النور بإذن ربهم إلى صراط العزيز الحميد. Allah said, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun anzalnahu ilayka litukhrijan nas. This is the book we sent to you, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to take people from the darkness, from the idols worshiper, from the idols that they are worshipping, ila nuri, to Islam. Not by the power of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but by the permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the right path. The path of who? The praised one, the mighty one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another ayah, chapter 15, verse 1, Surah Al-Hijr, Allah says there, Alif Lam Ra, Tilka Ayatul Kitabi wa Qur'anin Mubin. Allah says, Alif Lam Ra, Tilka Ayatul Kitabi. These are the verses of the book. Wa Qur'anin Mubin, and a clear Quran from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Alif wa Lam Ra, those letters, they call it in Arabic, al-hurufu al-muqatta'a. The breaking letters, it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knows the meaning. As a human being, we can learn the hikmah, the wisdom behind these letters, Alif Lam Ra. It means Bayanu Ijaz al-Quran. These short letters is explaining to us the miracle of Quran, the specularity that the Quran has, the uniqueness that the Quran has that make him outstand with other books. Quran stand out from other books. It's uncomparable. No any other books that you can see that it comes with this Alif wa Lam Ra, and that we have something special in it except the abbreviation letters. And this one Alif Lam Ra is not abbreviation letters. It is not abbreviation letter that what you short like NAIM, Nigeria, America, Islamic Mission. This is not abbreviation. Abbreviation is totally different from this. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knows the intention of this. The abbreviation letters, we have it in the Islamic books also, like hadiths of Imam Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi. The scholars of the hadith, if they want to mention their names and they want to make it short, they will say Ba, which stand for Bukhari, Mim, which means Muslim, Ta, which means At-Tirmidhi. So this is totally different from this Alif wal Lam Ra that Allah mentioned in this ayah. Another lesson to learn in this letter is that it shows that whenever you want to learn the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you start from the beginning, which is a letter. If you want to learn how to read Quran, you start with Alif, Ba, Ta, Fa. If you want to learn English language now, you start with A, B, C, D. If you want to learn Yoruba language now, you start with A, B, D, A, F, E, G, B, and so on in others language. So this Alif Lam Ra, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that knows the meaning. Tilika ayatul kitabil mubin. Tilika ismu isharatin lil ba'id. Allah said that signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tilika ayatul kitabil. Tilika ayatul kitabil mubin. The Quran that you see, the verses that you see are the clear book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. Why did Allah use tilka? Allah used tilka for something that is far. Tilka, that. Why did Allah say tilka? Because the Quran is a big word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is referring to the Quran. Allah honored the Quran that tilka, that book, that great book, that great Quran. Allah said tilka ayatul kitabi al-mubin, the clear book from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. Allah said we refer. Let me give the literal meaning of it. Indeed, we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran that you might understand. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. Allah said we send this Quran to you in Arabic language so that you might understand. Inna, that word is referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his power, he says, Inna anzalnahu, I reveal the Quran down. Allah said, I send the Quran down, which means the Quran was not on the earth before. Quran was on the heaven. If it is not on the heaven, Allah will not, if it is on the earth, Allah will not use the word anzalnahu, we will send it. So which means this Quran that you see is from Allah, from the heaven, Allah send it to the earth. Anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. Allah said, Anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. We send this Quran to you, Arabiyya, in Arabic language. The Quran that you see is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, we send it with a perfect language, which is the Arabic language. Before we even move on that, let's look at the Quran there that Allah mentioned there. Allah said, Qur'anan, the word the Quran. Allah mentioned that Quran there, and Allah mentioned the word of the Quran in many places in Quran. Allah mentioned the word Quran in 58 places in Quran. The word Quran. A repetition of a letter of or a word, it emphasized on importance of this ayah. Quran is a book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran is a book revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if I may ask you, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, what is your mission in this month of Ramadan? What is your mission after Ramadan? What are your goals after Ramadan? Do you want to continue reading Quran the way you are reading it now after Ramadan? Or once you're done with the Ramadan, you're going to abandon your Quran? The Quran is not a book that you can just read and abandon like that. I'm using this opportunity to call you, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, to take our Quran serious. Those of us that we haven't enrolled ourselves to Arabic language or Quran class, please go enroll yourself to Quran class. It is upon you to learn the book of your Creator, the book of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the book that challenged billions of people, the book that challenged the humankind and jinn to bring the similar of it. The similar of it, not even the Quran itself, to bring the similar of it, they cannot come with it. Allah challenged the kuffar. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. If you are in doubt, if you are doubting of this ayah, if you are doubting of this Quran, Allah said, come with the word, come with the surah, come with this ayah. Allah said, you can never come with it if you are doubting of Quran. So the Quran is our book. The Quran is our encyclopedia. The Quran is our code of life. We need it in our daily life. So it's upon us to recite our Quran time to time and to go learn it. For those of us that we know how to read, alhamdulillah, we should keep reading and we should keep to learn more. Don't say, alhamdulillah, I can read the Quran. Alhamdulillah, you can read the Quran, but furthermore, in how to understand the Quran. The Sahaba, Ridwanullah alayhim, after they learn to read the Quran, after they learn how to read Quran, they furthermore on exegesis of Quran. So it's upon you to take this month to prepare yourself. After Ramadan, what do you want to do pertaining to Quran? How do you want to draw your program after Ramadan? What do you want to do after Ramadan? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you have to go to Arab country or travel out of the country before you can learn Quran. You can learn it in anywhere in the whole world. Alhamdulillah, there is a lot of online classes going on now. But you can learn Quran through it. So don't waste your time, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Those of you that you keep giving an excuse that the Quran is difficult, the Quran is not difficult. It is difficult for whoever that he is not ready to learn it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the person that wants to learn this Quran. Allah make it easy for him. So if you are ready to learn Quran, Allah will make it easy for you. But if you are not ready to learn Quran, you keep giving an excuse and keep saying that the Quran is difficult to learn. Is the letters is so so difficult to learn, contradicting each other. It is not contradicting each other. The word of Allah is very clear. Kitabun Mubin is a clear book. So it's upon you to learn the Quran. And the perfect way of learning Quran is to learn it in Arabic language. Allah said it, Quranan Arabiyya, the Quran that we reveal to you in Arabic language, which shows that the Quran, if you want to get full reward, you have to read it in Arabic language. I didn't say if you read it with other language, you're not going to get reward, but you can never get the similar reward of the person that read it in Arabic language. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, narrated by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, said, in the hadith, Imam Bukhari reported the hadith, he said, Man qara harfan min kitabillahi azza wa jalla, falahu bi hasana, wal hasanatu bi ashri amthaliha, fala aqulu alif, lam, mim, harfun, walakin alif, harfun, lam, harfun, wa mimun, harfun. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the Prophet said, Man qara harfan, whoever read a letter from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, falahu bi hasana, is going to get reward for that. Wal hasana to be ashri amthaliha, and the reward of it is tenfold in rewards. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said, the Prophet is referring in this hadith that La akul alif lam harfu. I didn't say alif and lam mim is a letter together that you're going to get 10 reward for it. No. Alif, once you open your mouth, you say alif, you get 10 reward. Lam, 10 reward. Mim, 10 reward. So 30 reward for you to open your mouth and say alif, lam, mim. So it's upon you to learn the Quran if you want to get this full reward. Please, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, it is not too late. It is not too late. Don't give excuse. When you come to this country, remember, some of us, we don't even have the degree. And some of us, we have degree from Nigeria. But when we get to this country, we proceed, we gain another certificate, which shows that you can attain a new knowledge that you haven't learned before. So you can learn Quran. Don't put it on your head that it's only your kids that will learn Quran. That at least I send my kids to Egypt, they've learned how to read the Quran, or I've sent them to Saudi Arabia, they're learning how to read the Quran. No, it's upon you as a parent to learn Quran. Abu Bakr's father, Abdullah ibn Abi Quhafa, his father, he learned the Quran at what age? Over 80 years when he embraced Islam. That is the age of Abu Quhafa, the father of Abu Bakr, radiallahu ta'ala anhum jami'an. They all learn Quran at their old age. So what is your excuse? That you are still 30 years old, you're under 40 years, you have over 50 years, 60 years, you're giving an excuse that the Quran is so difficult, and after all, I'm old. But you are not old when it comes to the life material. You are not old when it comes to party. You are not old when it comes to this worldly enjoyment. But when it comes to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are the one giving yourself fatwa. You are the one that giving yourself excuse. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that doesn't work like that. You need to give your time to learn Quran. Even if it is only one surah, you'll be able to learn within 5 years before you die. Is better than not learning anything and being living on the earth. Even if it takes you 20 years to learn how to read the Quran, wallahi, you are the best person to Allah. You are best. You are one of the best person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than other people that doesn't do anything. So I'm using this opportunity to encourage every one of us, including me, myself, to take this Quran serious. You should try as much as possible to learn Quran. Don't let us give excuse. Don't let us give excuse. We have a lot of Sahaba that learn the Quran at the age that they are like over 80 years, 70 years, 60 years. Remember, Umar radiallahu ta'ala said, we will never learn Quran, a ayah from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except we walk towards it before we learn another one. That's another method. That's another way for you to learn Quran. If you find it difficult, try to walk upon the ayah that you learn in the Quran. Even if it is very difficult, try to work on it. Once you know the meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you like that. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for every one of us. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. Allah said we reveal this Quran to you in Arabic language. So it's upon us also to learn the Arabic language. It is upon us to learn Arabic language. Don't say the language, the Arab language. No, the Arabic language is the language of Islam, is the language of Muslims. So it's the language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in it. Other language, no one can say Allah put barakah in it. Why? Because we have no evidence on it. But this Arabic language, Allah put barakah in this language. Why? Because it's the language of Quran. That is enough for us as evidence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in it. And don't be sentiment, don't be biased. Don't put the hatred of Arab in your mind like, which Arab, they are not nice, they are wicked, they are so wicked, they are not good. Don't put their hatred in your mind. If you are doing so, you won't be able to learn. You won't be able to learn. It's Allah that have given them this honor, so you should accept it and take it like that. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveal the Quran on your own mother tongue, you're going to do more than them. You too, you're going to do more than Arab. And I always tell people, if you want to criticize Arab, criticize them, but remember that the language that you want to criticize is our language. It's a language for all Muslims. Just like someone that want to condemn the whole Saudi, if you want to condemn the Saudi, condemn the people that are there. But remember, the Kaaba and the Masjid of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the property of all Muslims. So it's not for the Arab only. We all own it. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, don't fight Arabic language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this language in 8 places in Quran, Arabiyan, that comes like that. And in 3 places that Allah say Arabiyun, but in Arabiyan, that Allah calls it like that, is 8 places in the Quran. So if this language is not known, or it is not recognized, or it is not important, Allah will have not mentioned it. So it shows that the Arabic language is a good language. So don't just call it ordinary language. It's the language of Quran. It's the language of Islam. It's the language of Muslims. So, but no evidence on it that it is the language of believers on the day of resurrection. We didn't see any straight evidence from that. Some people will say Arabic language is the language that we're going to speak in Jannah. We haven't confirmed the sound of that says, but the most correct one is only Allah that knows the language that we're going to speak. If it is Igbira language that Allah will make us speak on that day, inshallah, it's very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if it is Chinese language that we're going to speak on that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very easy for him to make it. So we don't know the language we're going to speak in Jannah. Whichever language we speak, what important to us is that it's a language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in it. So let us learn Arabic language. If we learn Arabic language, it will bring us close to our religion. That is why when you see a lot of people that criticize Islam and they learn Arabic language, after they learn Arabic language, they realize the benefit in this language, the virtues of this language. Most of them end up embracing Islam through this language because this language is so rich. This language is so rich compared to other languages. It has a lot of things in it that time will not take me to explain it. Just to take one as an example. Arab, they have what they call a tasghir, to make a name small. Like if you say Hassan, if you want to make it small, Hassan, you say Hussein. Abdu is servant. If you want to make it small, you say Ubaid is servant, small. But in other languages, they don't have it like that. They have to come with another word to join it together. Like if you say Hassan and you want to say small Hassan, you have to say small Hassan. But in the Arabic language, it's that word itself. You just need to change it only. Just change one word letter there. It will give us another meaning. Asad, lion. Usaid, the small lion. So Arabic has a lot of things in it. The time will not take us to learn it because we are not on the we are not in the class to learn about Arabic language. But I'm just trying to come with the benefit and the virtues and what distinguish this language from other languages. So Arabic is so unique and is a perfect language from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't forget also, let's talk logistically. This language that you see, we write it, we start from what? From right side. Most of the language in the whole world now, if you want to write it, we start with the left. And the Prophet said the most beloved things to him is to start his stuff from right side. The language of Allah has to be the number one. Of course, the language of Quran, it has to be the number one. No language that we can put above this language of Islam. So it's upon us to learn Arabic language. And it's upon us also to send our kids to where they can learn Arabic language, because if they learn this Arabic language, they will be able to know better in their religion. They will know a lot of things hidden in their religion. But if they don't know this Arabic language, they will get confused. Many people today, they take the translation Quran, and they read it. When they read it, they ask you questions like, this Quran said I should do this. And when they ask you this question, you look at it, you say, no, that's not what Allah was saying in this ayah. But it's because they read the translation Quran, it confused them. So this, no matter how you try to explain Arabic language in another language, you cannot get it right as the root language. Because once you are explaining it, once you are borrowing the language from Arabic to other languages, you will see that the language will be reduced in its beauty. So Arabic language is so unique, and it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that bless the language. So it's upon us to take our time to learn the Arabic language, and we should take the hatred of Arab away from our heart. So this will open our heart to learn Arabic language. This will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may He make it easy for you and I. Allah said, la'allakum ta'qilun. Allah said, la'allakum ta'qilun, so that you might understand it, so that you might come to your sense. You might be able to ponder on it very well. Why did Allah send this Quran in Arabic language? Allah said, because you're going to understand it very well, because the language comes with the rich stuff in it. I remember when I was in the Lagos Island then, like I think like 16 or 17 years back. I remember we have some set of people that they call themselves Al-Quraniyun, the people that they believe in the Quran only. And one of their objectives and goals is that one of their belief is that if they want to read this Quran, they're going to read it in Yoruba language because they are Yoruba. They believe the Quran should be read in Yoruba because they are Yoruba. So if they want to pray Salat, they pray their Salat in Yoruba language. When I first hear about them, I thought people that rumor is not true until I went there by myself to Marina, under the bridge, Marina in Lagos Island, and I found them under the bridge doing their halqa. They have their men, they grow beard, even their women also wear the long veil, and they are doing the halqa in Yoruba language, and they give themselves Yoruba names also. He said if is that naming him Sharif or Sharaf, he will change it to Alakmole. If any person that is that naming Al-Kamal, Kamalu, the complete, he will change the so they change the names from Arabic language to Yoruba language. Why? Because they believe that they should serve their Lord in Yoruba language. That's their own language, and they believe that it's not fair for them to use the borrowed language to them. Then, so when we see these people, one of our scholars then, may Allah forgive him, he has passed away now. So, and he's a barrister and also he's a sheikh. He said, okay, he's going to have a dialogue with them. So he wants to have debate with them. Like, where did they see this evidence from the Quran? Where did they derive their own understanding from? So they call upon this set of people to come to have the debate, dialogue in Evans Street then. So this set of people, they came with their followers, their sheikh and everybody. And we as a student of knowledge, we are watching, we are looking them, we want to see what is going on. So fortunately, they call Adhan for Salatul Dhuhr. Then after they call Adhan for Salatul Dhuhr, we want to pray Salat. They said they cannot pray behind us. We said, why? They say because we read in Arabic language and they cannot pray behind anyone reading in Arabic language. Okay. So we pray our own Salatul Dhuhr. After Salatul Dhuhr, they say, can we allow them to pray their own Salat? Of course, they grant them the opportunity and they start to pray their Salat. And their Imam asked one of them to make Iqamah. They make Iqamah in Yoruba language as well. And he want to pray Salat and he start Allahu Akbar. He say, Allah lo tóbi jùlọ, and he place his hand on his chest. Adúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run ọba àjọkẹ́ ayé, ọba àṣàkẹ́ ọ̀run, ìwọ lọba tá máa sìn, àlẹ́lùmí tá máa sìn, tó yàtọ̀ sí wọ, tọ́ wa sọ́nà. He started reading this and in Yoruba language. To our understanding, everybody was shocked. Like, what is this? This is a new thing in Islam. This is a real innovation. But when it got to this ayah of غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, he read it in Yoruba as well. And the members, the followers that were praying behind the Imam, everybody, they all say, Ameen. Good. And after they finished Salat, this sheikh challenged them like, okay, alhamdulillah, we see the way you're praying your Salat now, but after you finish Surah Al-Fatiha, you said, Ameen. Don't you know that means Arabic language? It's not a Yoruba language. Don't you know it's not Arabic language? So they were shocked there because they never come to their sense to think of that. What they believe is that they want to read the Quran, they want to pray Salat in Arabic language. They forget that the Amin that they say, they should have used the Yoruba word and to see how people will going to run away from them. Because if you say, and you say, so people just say, so what's the difference between you and Elegun, Oloro? and the idol worshippers, because no difference between you and them, because you claim that you should serve your Lord in your own mother tongue, and you use the word used by these people also, Ashe. This Ashe, you should be the preferred word for you to use instead of using Amen. So for there, they have this debate. After the debate, they left. Al-Muhim, now, alhamdulillah, I'm pretty sure now these sets are not existing there anymore. I'm not sure. But after this debate, some of them, they get this understanding, well, that this is wrong. This is a wrong interpretation. You should not have the hatred for people or for a tribe that will make you go against the teaching of Allah and His Prophet. And this always happens to some Muslims. Even we will see some people that they call themselves scholars because they have the hatred of Arab in their hearts, and they criticize them blindly to the point that they will affect the message of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is wrong. Having said this doesn't mean that Arab, they are pure or they are unique or they are best. They are human beings like us. They are human beings like us. They're going to stand before Allah on the day of resurrection, like we also we're going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this language that we are talking to about is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that bless them with this. So if what Allah has favored someone, you shouldn't deny it. This is the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon Arab. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one that's honored them with this language. So Allah has honored us also with our own language, Yoruba, that we're always proud of it. Nothing wrong, but we should be proud of that language within our other language, not with Arabic language, not to compare them with Arabic language. It's two things that you cannot compare together when it comes to religion aspect. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this easy for every one of us. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the understanding of His religion. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for every one of us to learn Arabic language and understand it. If we learn this Arabic language, we're going to gain a lot. We're going to gain a lot. And you cannot understand a lot of things that you have missed in your life if you don't in religion, if you don't learn Arabic language. But once you learn Arabic language, believe me, you won't want to drop it again because it has a lot of benefit in it. I mean, that connects to our religion, which is Islam. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that excuse me, honor Arab with this. So Ọlọ́run ló di orí ẹwà fún àkùkọ tiwọn. Èèyàn ń bínú wọn pé torí pé kí ni, why did Allah give them this opportunity? It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that bless them. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. So that you can think, so you can ponder on this ayah very well. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَفَكَّرُونَ. In another place, Allah said, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَفَكَّرُونَ. So you can think deeply. So what is the meaning of ta'qilun? Aqilu, sense. What kind of sense Allah is referring to in this ayah? Is it this ordinary sense or the other sense that is different from the sense we know? Al-aqilu, the sense. We have the sense at-taklifi, the sense that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned job upon, which is the work, the job that Allah assigned on you to do, a daily job, or the sense that Allah gives you to think, to know what is right from what is wrong. This one sense, which is the opposite of that one, is al-junun, a craziness. Majnun, a crazy person, cannot be compared with the word someone that has a sensible person. So we are not talking about this aspect. We are talking about al-aqlu ar-rushdu. Aqlu rushdi, the sense, the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the sense Allah was referring to us in this ayah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. The rushdun. أَلَيْسَ مِنْكُمْ رَجُلٌ رَشِيدٌ. Don't you have a sensible person within you? This is the sense that Allah was referring to in this ayah, to ponder upon the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The sense that Allah was referring to is the one that Allah used, call upon us in Surah Allah say, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا لِإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا لِإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Don't you look to the camel the way Allah created it? Looking like this is not to use to look at the camel like, oh, camel will store. He has this shape of head. He has this nose. He has this long tongue. That is not the looking that Allah is calling upon you to. Allah wants you to, the intellectual, your sense, the deep one, to think of it, to take a lesson and wisdom from this. That is what Allah is referring to in this ayah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you can ponder upon the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَفَكَّرُونَ, so that you can think deeply of ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what Allah was calling upon you and I to in this ayah. Allah said, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya la'allakum ta'qilun. We have revealed to you the Quran in Arabic language so that you might understand. Because the Quran is so powerful. Allah said in another ayah, in Surah Al-Hashr, Allah said, لَوْ أَنزَلْنَا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى جَبَلِ لَرَأَيْتَهُمْ خَاشِعًا مُتَصَدِّعًا مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. You will see if we reveal this Quran on mountain, you will see the mountain crush down. It's going to crush for the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Quran is so powerful, is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is calling upon you and I to ponder upon it, to think deeply whenever we are reading Quran. So that's another message in this ayah also, that whenever you are reading Quran, don't just read only. You ponder, you think of the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah. Once you read a ayah, a verse, before you go to another ayah, ponder upon that ayah very well. You will take a thousand of lessons from it. Even Alif Lam Ra, Tilka Ayatul Kitabil Mubin, the verse, if I go deep in explanation of this, if I go deeply in the explanation, it will take us like 10 days. We won't finish explaining the first ayah for you to know that the Quran is so powerful, the Quran is so big, the Quran has a lot of things that you cannot understand it until you learn the meaning as well. That will give you the beauty of it. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for every one of us. We're using this opportunity to talk to parents that have sent their kids outside the country to learn the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless you and be with you. And also the parents that they haven't sent their kids out of the Egypt or to go learn the Quran within the state also as well. We're using this opportunity to please, for the sake of Allah, send your kids to madrasa where they will learn the Quran. It's the word of Allah, it's the code of their life. If they don't learn the word of Allah, who else will learn the word of Allah? If they don't understand the word of Allah, who else want to understand the word of Allah? Don't give this word of Allah to the kuffar to be the one to explain to us about our book. So unfortunate today to see that you will see that Muslims don't know about their religion until the non-believers, Orientalists, and other people, the free thinker, until they come to Muslim and tell him like, oh, and challenge him like, oh, is it not your Quran that said this? Is it not your Quran that said they should beat a woman? Is it not your Quran that say is it not your Quran that mention dogs in the many places? Is it not your Quran that talk about pigs? Is it not the Quran that talk about a lot of things there? Then you will see Muslim now going back to the Quran to check if it is true or is not true, because Muslims don't learn about the Quran. They take it from the Orientalists, the enemy of Islam, the free thinker. That's where they take their knowledge from. And whenever they see the challenge, they will now run to the Quran to check. Why? Because they don't learn the Quran. If to say they have the understanding of their religion or they learn about the Quran, they will give them the quick answer that what you are saying is a wrong interpretation. That is not what Allah meant in this ayah. This is what Allah meant. This is not what He meant in this ayah. But unfortunately, it's few people that take this serious. So my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, those of us that we haven't sent our kids to madrasa, the school, to learn Arabic and the Quran, please let us take this advantage to send our kids to learn the Quran and Arabic language. And the fathers and mothers also, we are not too old for the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So far as we are not old for the worldly enjoyment, so we are not too old for the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I know many people within the executives and outside the executive, that they take their time to learn Quran. They learn it, they go up and down. We have some of them that they learn it online, and we have some of them that they go on ground before this pandemic. So what is your own excuse that you are too old? You have a lot of things you put on your head. You think a lot, you do this, you do that. Is not an excuse. Learn the Quran, learn the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those of us that we have already learned how to read Quran, let us try as much as possible to learn Arabic language also, to learn Arabic language. Arabic language is the language of Muslims. Arabic language is the language of Islam. Arabic language is the language of Quran. It is not for Arab only. It is the language for all Muslims. It's the language for all Muslims. So therefore, let us learn our language. Don't wait that the outsider will now come to tell you about your language before you learn it. And don't put other language above the language of Allah. So unfortunate to see Muslims today that be the one pushing other language upon the language of Allah, either maybe because of tribalism or the hatred that they have for these people. You will see then that they want to prefer, they want to say their language is the best. Anyway, you can say your language is the best within other languages. But when it comes to the language of Allah, which is Quran, Arabic language is the best. Arabic language is the best. And a lot of things borrow from Arabic language. From English, the English borrow a lot of things from Arab. They borrow a lot of things from Arabic. To give example, kub. Kub is Arabic word that English borrow from them. They change it to cup. It's kub. And the plural of it is akwab. Allah says in Surah Al-Ghashiyah, wa akwabun mawdu'ah. Wa akwabun mawdu'ah. The cups that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala served the people of paradise on the day of resurrection. Akwabun, the plural of kub. And the kub is borrowed from Arabic language to English language. They change it to cup. Arab don't borrow language from English except al-ashiyaw al-haditha, the new events, the new things, the new language, just like computer. The computer, Arab, they have their own language for it. They have their own word for it, which is al-jihaz, al-hasub. They have their own word for it, but it's because it has become popular nowadays, and it is the word, this computer was made by the West. So the Arab used to that language of that computer. So if you are Arab, also Arab now want to say computer, now we say computer because they don't have P in their language. So they will say computer. So it has become the used language now, even in Arab countries. If you go there now, they use computer than al-hasub, which is the real language for computer. So that's one of the things that you can see the Arab borrow from English or from French or any other languages. But anything that comes, any olden stuff, anything that is old, most of it, and you find that Arab have it in their language, and the West also have it in their language. Most of it comes from Arabic language. Most of it comes from Arabic language. They borrow it from Arabic language to their own language. Another example, we have the one that they call Risalatu Takhassus. Risalatu Takhassus, master thesis. In Arabic language now they call it magister. It has become borrowed language that they borrow from the West. They will say master degree, and they change it to their word magister. So they have their own word for it, Risalatu Takhassus, because it is not used anymore, so it make it fail. So any language that you see the Arab West and Arab used together, most of it has to be a new language. It's not old language. Most of the old language take from Arabic to other languages. Just like Yoruba also borrow a lot, and like we all learn, we borrow language maybe through business, through religion, through trading, and any other things. Al-afiyah, shalafiyah ni. That's the borrow language from Arabic. Al-afiyah, shalafiyah ni. Al-afia means health in English. In Arabic, al-afia. In Yoruba, al-afia. So we have a lot of languages like that that we borrow from there. Al-basal, onion. Alubosa, Yoruba call it alubosa. Even though Yoruba borrow it from Hausa, and Hausa take it from Arab. So al-basal, we have many of these language. Al-ba'al, al-ba'al, which is ọkùnrin. Baale, Yoruba borrow as baale, baale enko. Al-ba'al, al-ba'al, ọkùnrin, ọkùnrin tó jẹ́ aṣáájú, a leader. Yoruba borrow it from them also. Baale, baale enko. So we have a lot of languages that Yoruba also borrow from Arabic language. For you to see the Arabic language is so rich. Many of it, we have it. That time will not take me to mention it. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for every one of us to learn the language of our religion. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadah and forgive our shortcomings. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Now,